Jana Duggar PDA hints at many broken courtship rules, fans speculate. Did Jana Duggar and Steven Wisman's PDA hint at other cult rule breaking? Fans think so, and, on the assumption that Jana violated Jim Bob's restrictions before marriage, they're happy for her. To recap, within hours of Jana Duggar's wedding date leaking, she married Steven Wisman. None of this fits the pattern of a normal Duggar wedding, and there were hints that Jana and Steven never abided by courtship rules. Jana Duggar and Steven Wisman are married. On Thursday, August 15th, Jana Duggar married Steven Wisman. They had a relatively low-key ceremony despite Jana's reality TV fame and the presence of 500 guests. Jessa Duggar, one of Jana's innumerable sisters, was her maid of honor. Joanna, Ginger, Johanna, and Jordan Duggar were other bridesmaids, and so was sister-in-law Abby Duggar. Jill was not part of the wedding party. Marriage is all but mandatory within the Duggar family and to the fundamentalist cult to which they belong. But so much of how this came to be is just too normal for the Duggar world. Jana is 34 years old, rather than being in her teens or very early 20s. She and Steven had a real engagement. He proposed in June, instead of a courtship. And Jana and Steven even, allegedly, dated a few years ago and broke up before reuniting early in 2024. That is now how the cult raised Jana Duggar and her siblings to live. She's living her life like what she is, a grown adult millennial, rather than like her father's property. The wedding, and, in particular, the wedding reception, had a lot of Jana's fans wondering if she and Steven made other normal choices ahead of their nuptials. What does Jana Duggar and Steven Wisman's PDA mean? Many of us have seen viral videos where a fundamentalist bride and groom clearly have no idea how to kiss at the altar, because they have no idea how to kiss. That did not seem to be the case for Jana and Steven. Even though Jana's siblings had chaperones during their oh-so-brief courtships to ensure that they didn't so much as front hug, Jana and Steven were doing just fine. At one moment during the wedding, Steven picked up his new wife. Touching the area of Jana's butt didn't seem awkward to fans and commenters, who wondered if this was not new territory for them. This was about more than just courtship rules, however. Plenty of snarky posts on social media, including Twitter, noted that Jana was wearing a beautiful wedding gown. A wedding gown that bared her shoulders. Michelle Duggar has explained that, in her cult's twisted theology, a woman showing any amount of attractiveness is defrauding onlookers because they believe that it's the woman's fault if a man finds her attractive. And, of course, they believe that only a married couple may act upon these desires. By that orthodoxy, Jana defrauded plenty of wedding guests. But the bigger question is, to be blunt, just how many rules did Jana and Steven break before they tied the knot? Across social media, people cracked jokes about front hugs, sex worker, shoulders, and more, even as they showered Jana with compliments. However, we have to emphasize that this is all mere speculation. Well, the cut of the dress isn't. And neither is Jana's age, which makes her practically a geriatric bride by Duggar standards. It is possible that, one day, Jana will open up about her, within the cult, old maid status and what led up to the wedding. For now, however, Jana is chalking the timing of her marriage up to her God and leaving it at that. The newlyweds are moving. In addition to metaphorically distancing herself from her family's rules, Jana and Steven are moving a considerable physical distance from the Duggar compound as well. Together, they will live in their new marital home in a new state. Their new 5-bedroom house, which cost only $275,000, is in Lincoln, Nebraska. They'll be close to the Wisman family, whom Jana knows well, and they'll be far from Jim Bob and Michelle and the sites of Josh Duggar's crimes. That sounds like it's for the best. Jana Duggar's moving to another state with new husband Steven Wisman. News of Jana Duggar moving isn't such a surprise, not after recent revelations. Just days ago, we reported that Jana Duggar's wedding date had leaked. It was a surprise, to be sure. Within hours, the world had confirmation of her marriage to Steven Wisman. By that point, it was less of a surprise. Now, Jana will be moving far from her parents, to a whole other state. Jana Duggar is moving. Now that she's married, 34-year-old Jana Duggar is the second eldest of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's sprawling brood. On Thursday, August 15th, she married Steven Wisman, though she is of a normal age to marry among her age group in the United States. Within her family's cult, these were geriatric nuptials. Now, Jana is taking another huge step. This will take her far from her parents, and far from the horde of younger siblings for whom she has acted as a third parent. Jana Duggar is moving to Nebraska. Speaking to People in an August 17 interview, the newly married Jana Duggar spoke about the upcoming move to Nebraska. "He has a little house we bought that we've been fixing up and getting pulled together," she shared, referring to new husband Steven Wisman. "And so," she expressed, "that's been fun." What is Jana Duggar's new house like? Steven Wisman purchased the home in question in 2023. News reports that the 5-bedroom home is in Lincoln, Nebraska. The home to which Jana Duggar is moving is only about 20 minutes away from Wisman's family, whom Jana knows well. The Wisman family lives in Milford, Nebraska. They also own a construction company, which is where Jana's new husband works. Steven Wisman proposed to Jana in June. 2 months is not a lengthy engagement, though, in the Duggar world, a traditional engagement is as unorthodox as, well, dating. Jana and Steven have known each other for over a decade. The Wisman family spent time with the Duggars during a snowstorm. A few years ago, widespread rumors said that Jana and Steven were quietly dating. She even spent the holidays with his family, not her own. It appears that they broke up back then and then reunited earlier this year. Jana is not following the absurd ritual of the father-approved courtship and rapid marriage at a very young age like so many of her siblings had to. "This marriage was a long time coming. I haven't always understood what the bigger picture is, but I know that God knows what is best for all of us," Jana opined to People. She concluded, "And so for me, it's getting married later." Jana Duggar is finally taking a major step to move far away from her toxic parents. If nothing else, many longtime Duggar watchers are breathing a collective sigh of relief at that. Jill Duggar accused of stealing Jana's spotlight following wedding snub. To the surprise of many, Jill Duggar seems to have been left out of Jana Duggar's wedding party. And now, some fans think there's evidence of bad blood between the formerly close sisters. As we previously reported, Jana married Steven Wisman on August 15. Jill Duggar adds to controversy surrounding Jana Duggar's wedding. At first, Jill seemed thrilled by this milestone moment in her sister's life, despite the fact that she wasn't a bridesmaid. "My sister is married," Jill wrote on Instagram. "Congratulations at Jana M. Duggar and at Steven Wisman." It was the kind of post that one expects from a public figure whose sister just got married. And it might have effectively sent the message that Jill was fine with being left out of her sister's wedding party. However, the following day, Jill shared a very different type of Instagram post, and this one sparked allegations that she was hoping to steal her elder sister's thunder. Jill raises eyebrows with an oddly timed announcement. "An edited, updated release of our book is set to drop soon," Jill captioned the post above. "Stay on the lookout and get your copy where books are sold." Obviously, Jill is promoting a new edition of her controversial memoir. This one promises to include new information and updates on how the author's life has changed in the year since she published her first book. It seems like a typical Instagram promotional post, but many of Jill's followers were upset by the timing. This would appear attention-seeking. "Let Jana have the limelight even just for one day," one Instagram user commented. "Can you please give Jana her moment and stop being an opportunist? I support you and Jill, but this is in poor taste," another added, according to Yahoo News. "Why wasn't Jill in the wedding? Did Jill go?" another wondered, while someone else wrote. "How sad that Jana didn't include her in her wedding party. Jimbo has too much influence." What's Jim Bob's involvement in all of this? Yes, some fans think that Jim Bob Duggar ordered Jana to leave Jill out of her wedding party. We have no idea if that's the case, but if it is, he was probably motivated by his anger over Jill's book and her participation in the exposé docuseries Shiny Happy People. So was Jill throwing shade at her father by promoting her memoir the day after Jana's big day? Whatever the case, she had plenty of support from fans who did not believe that she was trying to push Jana out of the spotlight. "You need to get your truth out. Don't listen to all the naysayers," wrote one commenter. "Yes, it's great that Jana finally got married, but it's okay for you to speak your truth also. Don't let others speak your truth. Nor let them shame you into a corner," another added. The Duggars might be keeping a much lower profile these days, but it's clear that fans are still very interested in the drama unfolding within the family.